Hey there, my name is Diva Utkarsha. I'm a 15-year-old change maker and future leader from Bangalore, India, and the founder and CEO of Project Surya. Now imagine this situation. You're chilling on your couch one summer afternoon, but some devastating news walks through your door. Some test reports tell you that you've been diagnosed with a condition that has no cure and you have to live with it for the rest of your life. This was the condition of my family when we learned 2 years ago that my younger brother had been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. After witnessing my brother's experience firsthand, there was this unsettling feeling brewing inside of me. I started thinking about the underprivileged kids coming from remote villages and backward communities who had the same condition as my brother. Could they afford such a lifestyle? Did they have the right resources, knowledge, education, support, or financial aid? Well, the answer was no. Here is the example of 10-year-old Seema, a young girl coming from a remote village in Karnataka called Raichur. Seema's father is a truck driver. 2 years ago, Seema was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. She lost a kidney due to her late type 1 diabetes diagnosis. 2 years hence, her younger sister, Shriya, also got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. 2 out of 3 children in their family have type 1 diabetes. How could they afford such an expensive lifestyle, spending more than 80% of their monthly income on type 1 diabetes on their 2 daughters? Their situation was devastating, and their illiteracy just adding on to this cocktail and cacophony of different problems that threatened their lives. This is where I knew that I had to jump in and do something to make sure that good health and well-being was accessible to them. And that's where Project Surya came in. Luckily, through Project Surya, we've enhanced the lives of Seema and Shriya. Inspired and named after my younger brother, I started Project Surya when I was 13 years old. Project Surya is an internationally recognized non-profit which is youth-led and aims to help the underprivileged type 1 diabetic children through a 3-pronged action plan that consists of awareness, advocacy, and funding. With 8.8 million type 1 diabetics across the globe, 1 in 2 people who need insulin cannot afford it. Many families spend more than 60 to 80% of their monthly income on insulin and diabetic resources. To add on to these issues, there is no awareness or knowledge on management of type 1 diabetes, which leads to complications like renal failures, coma, and even death. To address these problems, Project Surya works on its awareness vertical to spread type 1 diabetes awareness to the mass public. We organize type 1 diabetic counseling sessions and management workshops with the underprivileged type 1 diabetic kids, and we also hold free counseling sessions with the help of endocrinologists for the parents of these type 1 diabetic children. We also organize type 1 diabetic awareness modules in government schools and NGOs to spread type 1 diabetes awareness to the multitude of children across India. We also equip young change makers and volunteers who want to spread awareness about type 1 diabetes, along with frontline health workers like the ASHA workers, who are each responsible for 1,000 individuals in their community to spread type 1 diabetes awareness about its symptoms and risk factors to help with early diagnosis of type 1 diabetes. Thus, we spread awareness through a domino chain. Our approach for our second vertical, which is funding, is to raise funds to sponsor the 4th most expensive liquid in the world and the lifeline for type 1 diabetics, insulin, along with other consumables and medication like glucose strips, monitors, and other resources and consumables to these underprivileged type 1 diabetic families. How do we do this? We organize fundraising events. We have our online crowdfunding platform on Millap. We also have, multiple CSR grants. Under our third vertical, advocacy, we endorse various petitions, and we also organize social media campaigns and offline rallies advocating for GST and tax-free insulin and cheaper insulin in India, and the inclusion of type 1 diabetes in the Disabilities Act for more sustainable and effective policy making. One of our notable offline advocacy and fundraising events was when we collaborated with the ex-Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka to organize a midnight walkathon where more than 8,000 people ran in favor of type 1 diabetics. Our impact in numbers is as follows. We've directly impacted and worked with 700 type 1 diabetic children coming from the remote regions of Karnataka and their families. We've also reached more than 350,000 people, that is 350,000 individuals, through all of our rallies and campaigns, and we've directly impacted and reached 30,000 individuals through our awareness modules. We've raised more than $10,000, which is 1 million Indian rupees, which has gone to sponsoring 4,000 vials of insulin along with 1,000 insulin syringes to these underprivileged type 1 diabetic children. We've also been involved in endorsing petitions that have gotten more than 6,000 to 7,000 signatures advocating for sustainable policies related to type 1 diabetes, including big bodies like the United Nations, the Government of India, and NCPCR. I lead a team of 42 very enthusiastic volunteers coming from 3 countries and 9 cities. We also have 3 chapters of Project Surya, Bangalore, Delhi, and the USA, with upcoming chapters in Mumbai, Varanasi, and the United Kingdom. We're so glad to share that we've been humbly bestowed with the prestigious Diana Award 2023, which is the highest youth accolade in the world for humanitarian impact. We've also been recognized by the royal family of UK, Prince Harry, Prince William, the permanent ambassador of India to the United Nations, Ms. Ruchira Kamboj, the ex-former Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, the District Governor of Bengaluru Urban, various presidents of Rotary and Innovale International, and we've also been selected to present our work at the 1M1B Activate Impact Summit held at the United Nations headquarters in the ECOSOC chamber this year. We've also had the lovely opportunity of presenting at multiple state-level conferences, including the national conferences like the G20 Summit, and we've also pitched Project Surya at Wall Street. We've been recognized by various national media, radio, newspapers, and podcasts, including the Times of India, the Week Group, and Radio Mirchi. I would like to acknowledge the lovely, hardworking team we have at Project Surya, without whom all of this would have never been possible. We envision a world where good health and well-being isn't a privilege, but a basic human right. Join us today in making this vision of ours come true. You could contribute to our fundraiser on our Milap link, and if you would like to volunteer at Project Surya, please email us. We would also appreciate it if you could give us a follow on our Instagram. Surya in Kannada means the sun. Let's brighten as many lives just like the sun does. Let's sweeten lives together with Project Surya. Change begins right here and right now with all of us. Thank you so much.